Welcome to Agent Unstuck Calls, where we talk to real estate agents who are experiencing a challenge in their real estate career and they're looking for an alternative solution. Hi, I'm your host, Mike Cerrone with MastermindAgent.com, and I'm excited about this episode, so let's go ahead and jump right in. I'm excited to talk with you today, and let's jump in. So how can I help you today? What challenge are you experiencing in your real estate career that you would like us to chat about?
Okay, so a little background about me. I've been licensed in Maryland and DC, that whole tri-state, Maryland, Washington, Virginia areas, very close in proximity. So I've been licensed for since 2008 in Maryland. DC, I was licensed in 2017, so many years later. But overall, I do business in both primarily. And I consider myself a dual careered agent because I still hold a full-time job. I am a project manager for a large company, and that can be challenging because that job is pretty demanding. But I've also increased in volume with my real estate business because I get a lot of personal referrals from my sphere. So I'm excited about that. And I definitely want to try to break away from my full-time gig and do real estate full-time. I just haven't made that leap yet. But my concern is, in order to make that leap, I want to be at a comfortable position where I'm generating enough income to, manage those ebbs and flows of the market. And, so cold calling is not my thing. Door knocking is not my thing. Most of my business comes from social media and referrals. But I do know that I do have to call, do some cold calling because right now I'm primarily a buyer's agent, and I love my clients, but I want to try to get listings. I want to focus exclusively on listings. So that's where I'm having trouble, is like, how do I get listings? I get all these buyer leads and I'm selling homes on the buyer side, but I really want to be a listing agent. And
Okay.
I've signed up for tools like I have a Mojo dialer. When it comes to actually dialing, I just freeze. And, I just don't want to get hung up on. I don't want people to say I'm already working with someone, and then the whole Redfin piece with them. Everybody's in my neighborhood, all I see are Redfin signs, so I'm just trying to figure out what's my value proposition against your 1% juggernaut is telling you they can sell your house, for a 1% commission. So that's just where I am. I said a lot, but I'm all over the place. But yeah, so my goal is to be a listing agent. That is ultimately the
Well, you
bottom
put a
line.
lot out there. Thank you for sharing. I'll try to dissect a little bit of that, but you did a good job. First of all, I'm impressed that you're doing a dual career. I think, how many homes did you sell last year?
Last year I sold 11.
Yeah, 11 homes with a full-time job. That's pretty awesome. And
Thank
a lot
you.
of the top people in the industry came in when they did part-time, and they did part-time for a long time. Many of them did it for 5 to even 10 years where they were doing part-time before they became full-time. So you're on a course that's been followed before by some of the biggest names in the business. So that's good. And you've proven that you can do it. You can multitask and juggle all this. So way to go.
Thank you.
And you're getting your current business from your SOI, and you said social media. How big is your sphere of influence?
I don't know if I can quantify it. I mean,
have you ever listed it out?
I haven't. I actually have not. I haven't.
Okay, no problem. But you are getting business from that. So it sounds like it's coming to you then just by osmosis. It's just happening. It's around you, and you're picking up on the people know you're in the business, and the business is just kind of showing up.
Well, so I definitely, every time I sell a house, I definitely ask for reviews and testimonials. So I'm big on that. So I put that out there, and then, I ask my clients to share that as well on their social media. So usually when I do that, I get a few referrals from a house that I just sold, like, oh, you helped my cousin, or you helped somebody. I saw this on Facebook, or can we set up some time to talk? So that's how it's coming, which I love. My referral, my Google reviews are great. So I share those every time I make a sale, and then I get people that know that person that just bought a house and, want to talk to me. So, social media works for sure.
And the way you're using it, that's really smart to have the person you just helped, your past client, immediately do a testimonial and send it out to their friends. Basically, what you're doing there is tapping into their sphere.
Yep.
Right? That's pretty smart. And
you.
you're finding the people that are most interested in their group. So you've widened your sphere of influence through theirs. That's pretty good. I like that idea. The reason I ask about your SOI is that is the easiest business to work with, which you've already picked up on. And if you create more of a formal campaign, it's quite possible that you'd pick up a lot more listings from that group as they saw you as more of an expert and you established that in their mind.
Yeah.
And that of all the top people, that's their base, their biggest source of business is the I call it PCSOI, past clients and sphere of influence, which you now have both of.
Yeah.
But you need a formalized list and then a formalized marketing campaign to go out and stay in front of them. And that together is going to create a flow of business into you, which will be more 50-50 buyers and sellers. I just talked to a great solo agent this morning, closes 65 transactions a year.
Wow.
She's now a 60% listing, 40% buyer. You can also pick up some leverage on the buyer side with showing agent model as an example. Buyer agents, although you may or may not want to actually build a team, that's changing with people's personalities. I don't want to go too deep down that path because we only have a few minutes together, but I want to point out to you that your PCSOI is your easiest path to those listings.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's what I would look at first, especially with the other comments you made. So for instance, you said you got the Mojo dialer, which basically, that's the red X, and you're going after expireds and for sell by owners, and they pull up the data, and then you reach out to them. And you mentioned your reluctance with the calling, which I just completely don't understand.
It's just I freeze when I go to dial. I just or I just talk myself out of it. Like I don't feel like getting hung up on, or don't want to hear no, or call me back later, and then you call back, they don't answer. It's just
you're completely alone. No one else ever felt like that when they were dialing. So I've been in it for 27 years, and 27 years ago, I remember calling FSBOs and expireds, and I would do the same. I would freeze, my finger wouldn't move. It was the old phone here like this, and I wouldn't move. My throat would start to swell up, and I felt like I couldn't call.
Yeah.
So, I didn't like doing the phones. What I found I liked was knocking on the doors, because if I see you face to face, I feel comfortable.
Okay.
So if that's your personality, that may be an answer for you, is to go knock on the doors, just say hello and introduce yourself.
Yeah.
But the reason for that is if you want to do listings for sell by owners, and expireds have raised their hand and said, I want to sell. Yeah. And it's the greatest source of business to fast, quick business. It's not easy, but it's right there in front of you. The other way you can get listings, if you want to focus listing heavy, is geographic farming. Okay, that's another area. Have you thought about, what have you come up with and ideas for how to go directly to sellers to become a listing agent?
When I do sell on the buyer side, I'll do the postcard mailings, but I haven't really gotten a great return out of those. I'll buy a farm area and send out postcards to that area and say, hey, I just sold this house in your neighborhood. Consider me if you're thinking of buying or selling. I do that, but I've stopped. I think my last postcard mailing was about 3 months ago because I just don't get any response back from them. Yeah.
Right.
And to me, it's like a waste of money.
Mail is tough. It's expensive. And if you don't hit it right, it doesn't work. Just like social media and all the rest. If you don't have the right formula and the call to actions correct, the offers, it'll go down the tube. So I'm just curious what you've done. Just one other quick idea. I made a note that you mentioned Redfin as a competitor, and you don't know
Yeah.
how you're going to compete against that. They got this great commission rate. Yeah, that's always been true. Every single
Yeah.
market forever, there's always been a discount broker and different models that you're competing with. And that's why I'm going to go back around to your PCSOI. You know what group of people doesn't care about what your commission rate is? Your PCSOI,
Yeah.
because they want someone they know, like, and
Mm-hmm.
trust, and that's
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
They
Yep.
trust you, and they don't care about the rate as much as they care about getting an honest answer.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay, so keep that in mind. And then, yeah, those just listed and just sold, they work, but you'd have to have the right formula. Okay, so we got GeoFarm is you've tried that, but it didn't work. Although you didn't really farm. It sounds like you were doing a sale and you helped somebody buy, and then you were doing a just sold. Like I just helped the
Correct.
person buy,
Yeah.
which by the way is very good. I like that. The way to make sure that works is you say things like, hey, I've got more buyers that want this area. Obviously,
Okay.
you need to have them, but I
Yeah.
assume you've got a pool of buyers you're working
Yeah.
with.
I am.
And they're interested in this area. If you're interested in selling, let me know. And you go down that path. You do offers for market analysis and other reports, things that would be of interest to them to try to get them to respond.
Okay.
Pictures of the people that are happy, testimonials are the most powerful. You figured that out in your social media space. You would also use that in these postcards or mailings out to your farm. Always show evidence of success. That's the number one way to get more business, is show that you've been successful already.
Yep.
If you can do testimonials, it starts from written, and then the next most powerful would be audio, and the next would be video.
Right.
In this case, with a postcard, it'd be a picture with their text. But have you been getting video testimonials from people?
No, that's what I want to start doing next. I feel like I need to hire someone because I suck on video. Like I'm great at graphics, and like I use Canva to design my flyers and that sort of thing. But as far as video, I don't know how to edit. I don't know how the proper templates, how to put, captions. I need to learn that.
You can. It's not difficult like anything else. The key, though, is to be natural and be yourself and be authentic. And test after test after test has shown you'll get higher results with a goofy, grainy, off-kilter, unprofessional looking video that's used natural than if you do something real flowery and perfect and idealistic and commercial looking.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, yeah. So be comfortable just knocking it out there and recognize your first couple will be
Yeah.
and then you're going to get better and you're going to get into the role of it and the format, and it's okay. It's okay to make, just like when you got in the business, you probably fell down the first couple months, right?
Absolutely.
And you just learn. But I would get those testimonials. That's easy. Just at the end, at the closing table or afterwards, even before, you just say, hey, would you mind doing a testimonial for me? They're obviously willing to do it. Just say, hey, would you mind if I record this real quick? Take out your phone and say, hey, this is me sitting with John and Sally, and we just helped them buy a home. Here they are. And they're going to say, what do I say? Anything you want. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Believe me, they're going to come through. They're going to say something neat. And then you can edit out the best part and put it into the video.
Okay. See, that's the part I need help with, the editing.
So there's a lot of free editing software out there, depending on what computer you're working with. I don't use the Apple products, but they have a lot of free stuff. I think Movie Maker or something like that is in there. I use one called Camtasia. Camtasia is like $100. And it's very low cost. That's for a PC. And you can do a lot of easy editing. It's not super high-end sophisticated. We're not going to make Hollywood movies here.
Right.
We make a nice enough video that you can clip and edit the edges and change the audio and make it look good.
Okay.
Yeah, so try that.
Okay.
The key is to get the core video first, right? Just get it on your phone or whatever, and then you can go figure out the editing later.
Yeah.
You should try that. Let's keep going for your core question of how do you become more of the listing agent. Yeah. The only way you're going to get over the cold call thing is by making more cold calls. It's one of those counterintuitive things, right? Well, I got to go through the pain to get better at the pain. What? Yeah, but it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
And your drive is either strong enough to figure it out or it's not. If you don't like that, go knock on the door. You can try mail, but a lot of people do mail. And again, as I mentioned, it can be challenging.
Yeah.
You don't get the right combo there. Um, I think for you, I think you need to get a count on your PCSOI. I bet you it's bigger than you think
Mm-hmm.
and it's stronger than you think. And you're currently employed.
Yeah.
For instance, I bet you have a whole network at office, at work
Yeah.
of people you know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But I try to keep it separate because, you might get those folks that say, oh, when they see a little lull in your work, they might try to blame it on the other business. So I really try to keep those two separate.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
Let me recommend this, even though you believe that to be true, and it is, I'm sure. I would still make your list of all those people now while you're in the group, in the company. Names, phone numbers, emails, whatever. And even if you don't exercise that now, if you do decide to spin out and take real estate full time, at that point, you can reach back in and you already have the list pre-made and you can say, hey, I changed careers. I just wanted you to know I'm super excited. I'm ready to help you if you need to move or buy or sell something or have a friend or you want to make an investment, blah, blah, blah.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Okay. I never thought about that. Okay.
You betcha. Yeah, that's why a second pair of eyes helps out.
Definitely. I'm writing that down. Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. So we're coming up to the end of our call. I'm going to give you an assignment. You ready?
Yep.
Yeah, yours is pretty easy based on everything you've mentioned. I want you to make a list of your PCSOI. So write down the letters PCSOI, and that stands for past clients and sphere of influence. That's my little fast term I've been trying to coin. Basically, you need to identify who all those people are and get them written down and or into a CRM, but just get them written down first. You could use an Excel spreadsheet.
Okay.
Use anything. I'm telling you, I talked to top people today. They'll still have it on a 3x5 card, like the old Rolodex.
Oh, wow.
It just matters that you have it. Right. And then you can transfer that information to wherever you want. If you can put it into electronic right off the bat, that makes it easier to import and export out of the CRM. Do you have a CRM that you're using?
Yeah, I use Follow Up Boss.
Great. So just start going put them in the Follow Up Boss. Make sure you put a label on them that they're past client or their sphere of influence, right? So that you can easily pull that back up in a search.
Okay.
And just put the data that you have. Don't worry about it, but try to get at least their name and whatever contact information you have, like their address, their phone number, their email, and whatever else identifiers that you have. Some that are close to you will be easy. Some that are further out will be harder. When you make the list, here's the cutoff point. It's this person is someone I would recognize in the grocery store and they would recognize me and we could start a conversation. Okay. I may remember their name, I may not, but I would recognize them and they would recognize me and we could start a conversation. If somebody's beyond that point, they're really not in your sphere, right?
Gotcha. Okay.
Because you want to make it a group you're happy and excited to contact and be around and be in front of and let them know that you want to do some more business with them. And anyway, make that list. And I think you're going to be surprised. The average person knows 150 to 250 people in their sphere of influence.
Wow.
But you don't think that, until you start writing it down.
Right. Yeah.
And then I never know, but I'll ask these questions like, are you married or do you have a significant other? If so, they have a sphere, they have relatives, right? And your relatives, and you start to add it up.
Yep.
Do you have kids?
Yeah, they're young though, young kids.
That's okay. Do they do functions where you meet other people and see other family, like at a soccer game or, whatever, a ballet rehearsal or whatever? You start to bump into the other parents and you start to ask them, and you those are part of your SOI. I got a lot of business out of that when I was, have my little kids going around. you just start to make those relationships with people. So don't forget about all those little connections. They're going to add up to a big SOI.
Okay.
All right, let me wrap this up in a bow of why we're going there. Okay. Your PCSOI, once you get this thing going and you figure it out and you get a nice little marketing program started up, which is very inexpensive, by the way, a lot cheaper than all the other stuff. Once you get it going, if you do it poorly, you do it, but you don't do it great, about 5% of the list is going to repeat or refer. Okay. So if you have 100 people, that's 5 closings a year coming out of that group. And that's if you don't do it very well. Okay. If you do it the best, like the greatest agents in the world, it's going to be around 20%. Oh, wow. I just talked to an agent this morning. That's basically what she's doing. About 20% is of her sphere is repeating, referring every year. That's at the top. That's if you got it nailed. So let's dial it back to the middle, say 10% of your list. If you worked it, you weren't the worst, you weren't the greatest, 10% of your list converts. If you got 100 people, that's 10 closings a year, every single year. Yep. And they're going to pay the highest commissions. They're going to be the most fun people to work with, the most profitable, the easiest to get, no cold calling, right? Yeah. Fun business. Yes. Yeah, so what's the system? I know it's coming, Mike. Well, that's for another day. Oh, okay. I just had to give you the vision for why you're doing this, right? But the system will take another hour or 2 or 3. It'll take time to put together. Just know that you're on the right track. If you can't create the list, though, none of the rest of it matters, does it? Right. That's true. Right. So that's where you got to start. So start with the list. That's your assignment. Tell me now, I need a due date from you of when you could get that list done. Realistically, it won't happen until probably, what's today? I'll need at least 2 weeks. I'm working on 2 major projects at work right now. So I understand. And that's why you picked the date. I need you to give me a date and a time. I want to say actually probably June. Let's do June 24th, 3 weeks. Perfect. Oh, June 24th. At what time? 5 o'clock. Close at 5 o'clock your time? Yes. Okay, Eastern, and 5 o'clock. And then here's your accountability is you're going to send me an email and say, hey, Mike, guess what? I got it done. And then tell me what the count is. Okay. Got it. And that's it. Okay. Okay. Can you spell out that video editing? Sure. It's and I'm a terrible speller, so I better look at it. You said Camtasia. It's Camtasia. Let me pull this up and see. Yeah. Okay. CAM TASIA. Oh, I spelled it right. CAMTASIA. Oh, wow. I spelled it right the first time. Okay. There you go. You're a genius and didn't know it. So, yeah, check them out. It's online. You can buy the software. I don't know what the actual cost is, but I think I paid $100 for it. It's very reasonable, and it's a good base model. If you got an Apple computer, I think they already have a program in there that does it. Yeah. You might even have a program on a PC. I'm trying to remember what maybe I'm trying to make sure I'm not mixing them up. Movie Maker, maybe Movie Maker. I think Windows Movie Maker is on the PC. That one might be enough that you could edit, just a general basic edit. Camtasia will be a level above that. Okay. And somebody will chime in maybe and give us the answer to what the Apple product is. I know there's iMovie. iMovie on iMovie. It might be iMovie. There you go. See, look at you. You know more than me. So find those products, but try that and let me know how it goes. That was a good question. All right, cool. So we're good for today? Yes. Thank you so much. Very helpful. Very, very helpful. I am on the right path. Thank you. Awesome. I can't wait to hear your report. Okay. Thanks, Mike. Thank you. Well, that's it for Agent Unstuck calls. It was a lot of fun today. If you liked what you heard, go ahead and click that like button. And if you want to hear more calls like this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you know exactly when the next episode is coming out. And if you have any thoughts about what you heard today and you'd like to relay that to everyone else, go ahead and put that down in the comments section so people can talk about it. And finally, if you're stuck in your real estate career, you're a veteran who's having some challenges and you can't figure out how to get to that next step, go ahead and schedule yourself an Unstuck call. Just go to agentunstuckcall.com. That's agentunstuckcall.com. And let's get you scheduled in. You'll go in there, you'll fill out a quick survey, you'll find a time that works for you, and we'll get on a call just like this and see if we can't get you some answers. All right, this has been a lot of fun. I'm your host, Mike Cerrone with Mastermind Agent. And again, thank you for joining us on Agent Unstuck Calls. Take care.